In this episode 16 of the Daily Hustle, we get into the big 6 of leadership excellence, the principles you must know to become an excellent leader, and we also talk about the very intricate scoring system for monster truck rallies.
Broadcasting from the box that rocks and Thrive15.com world headquarters, it's the Daily Hustle with Daniel McKenna.
Welcome into the Daily Hustle, episode 16. My name is Daniel McKenna. Sitting across from me, as usual, Marshall Morris. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the 6 things that you must focus on to be an excellent leader. Just in case you don't know who we are, this is Marshall Morris over here. He's an author, the creator of Madness Media, Thrive 15 business consultant. I'm Daniel McKenna, Epic Productions co-founder and Thrive 15 co-founder. And today, we're getting into some leadership excellence questions. You want to stick around for this if you are in a leadership position. Marshall Morris, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing really well. In fact, what most people won't tell you is the first step to being a good leader is getting yourself a new red shirt, which I see that you've done.
Or lots of Dayquil.
Or lots of Dayquil, one or the other.
Marshall, what is the max amount of Dayquil you're allowed in a day?
It's 4 doses of 30 milliliters each.
And why do you know this specifically?
Because I did the maximum amount in about 4 hours yesterday.
And then realized that's probably all I should have today.
Yeah, you shouldn't have any more.
Should've
It says
spread that out.
serious liver warning, and I slowed it down.
Well, yeah, I mean, serious liver warning. Since I don't know how, biology works and everything, that's when I would back off.
That's a different episode.
That's a different episode. We'll get into serious liver warnings on another episode. Today's episode, though, we want to get through. This is a question from Eliza. She has a leadership question. So, Marshall, go ahead and give me some mojo. America! That's some good amount of mojo.
Yeah, I love that mojo.
That's some good mojo. And hit us with the question. Here, give us the question here.
Okay, Elisa, she says, I have been in a leadership role, however, never in this capacity. I was given a team that is not happy, not motivated, and have never been held accountable. Wow, I'm sorry.
It's exciting.
How do you get a team that has lost motivation to get it back and want to do better?
Okay. So, she's put in a new position.
Yep.
She probably excelled in her previous position, which is what got her this opportunity, is my guess. But now she's in charge of a group of people that do not want to be awesome.
That's right.
And just based on how awesome businesses stand out, aren't most businesses not awesome? So this is going to apply to most everybody.
Right.
I mean, most businesses are not awesome. You have to be very intentional about what you're doing to be awesome, and your level of expectation has to be so high of what you require from your people to be awesome that this is probably going to matter to you. So let's go ahead and dive into this. This is going to be committing to the big 6 of leadership excellence. I feel like I need some mojo just to get into number 1.
Okay.
I know this is a little bit,
Sorry, we're going streaking.
Yeah.
Through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody.
You weren't ready for that.
I wasn't ready for that. But I appreciated it.
Okay.
It's a different kind of mojo.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go streaking into number 1 here, which is number 1 is to clarify expectations. Again, we are committing to the big 6 of leadership excellence. We're going to clarify expectations. Marshall, read me the Steve Jobs quote.
Okay, Steve Jobs, founder of Pixar, former CEO of Pixar.
Yeah.
Founder of Apple.
Yeah, so what?
Okay. Kind of a big deal. He says, be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected.
Have you ever read the Steve Jobs bio?
I haven't read
autobiography?
I haven't read the biography.
It's good.
Walter Isaacson?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read that one.
It's solid.
Yeah.
Really good. Did you know that most people did not like Steve Jobs when they worked with Steve Jobs?
I did know that.
Did you know Steve Jobs created excellent products that, I don't know, half of Americans use now?
It's a lot of Americans.
It's a lot of Americans. A lot of people overseas, too.
Yeah.
Now, your style might not be the Steve Jobs style. His style was very, cut and dry excellence, or you're nothing to me. that was his style. Maybe that's not your style. But he's saying you have to be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. So number one on the big 6 of leadership excellence, you have to clarify the expectations. So whatever you allow, whatever you expect and you allow from your people, they'll assume that's what the goal is. So if you are not a hardhead and if you are not like demanding excellence, they will not give you excellence. Unless they are more ambitious than you are and will eventually take your job. So, or maybe if you're running your own company, they'll just go do their own thing because they're better than you. So you have to clarify your expectations, and those expectations must be super high because whatever you allow is what your team is going to do. If you're in a leadership position and you want excellence, you must have that expectation level very high and keep people to that expectation level. That was number 1. Number 2, Marshall Morris, is clarifying communications. Clarifying communications. Give me the Dale Carnegie. The Dale Carnegie here.
So Dale Carnegie, author of a number of different best-selling books, including How to Win Friends and Influence People. And so this quote is actually from that book.
Awesome.
Okay. He writes, when dealing with people, remember you are not dealing with creatures of logic, but with creatures bristling with prejudice and motivated by pride and vanity.
This is one of the better quotes from Dale Carnegie. Like, he has good stuff.
Yeah.
But this is one of the better ones that, like, if you are in a leadership position, this is something you have to, like, keep top of mind. This is big. I know from managing people, Marshall, I'm assuming you've also run into this, managing people.
Yeah.
That, you know, the old saying, common sense isn't common.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're like, people like do things and you're like, how is that possible? How did you show up to the event in a t-shirt and jeans?
Yeah.
How did you feel like that was cool?
This is a formal event.
This is a formal event, and you showed up wearing t-shirt and jeans, and you thought,
did you not know?
I like
or
this
did you
t-shirt.
not
I look
care?
good. Yeah. So how often have you run into this with people you're working with that you're like, how did you not get this? Like, and then you have to realize, you have to go back to Dale Carnegie, these are not creatures of logic. They're not going to think the same way that you do. They don't have the same things that drive them as you do. They don't even have the same goals as you do. Your goal might be leadership excellence, and their goal might be to do as little as possible until it's time to go home and watch some more, I don't know, what, Game of Thrones?
I'm not even sure what's current now.
I think Westworld is current now.
I think Friends is like hot.
Friends. So that's their goal. Keep that in mind. They're not creatures of logic. They're creatures bristling with prejudice and motivated by pride and vanity. The pride and the vanity emotions, and this isn't even like being like a negative thing. This is just like, these are humans. Like, and as humans, you're driven by your own emotions, and your emotions aren't going to be the same as like your boss's emotions. So you must realize, okay, how can I get through to this person? They're motivated by this. Therefore, I need to have some sort of carrot and stick that gets to this motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me an example of this, Marshall? Of maybe somebody that you've managed, you kind of realized, okay, this is what drives this guy. Therefore, I need to approach it this way.
Yeah. So some people, they are only motivated by like finances and financial and monetary rewards.
Sure.
And those people, they don't care about public praise at all.
Yeah.
They don't care about being recognized in front of their coworkers and their peers. And so you got to adjust for that, okay? You have to understand their motivation and where their drive comes from. And then there's the other side of the coin where some people, that's all they want is public recognition.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for the money. The money's not like important as important to me.
I need it to pay the bills, but
I need it to pay the bills, but I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I enjoy to do it, and I want other people to recognize that I am doing a good job.
Yeah.
Okay? And so with that being said, some people are motivated by one thing, other people are motivated by something else. And it's super important.
The other thing here that they're talking about is clarifying communications. Like, when you send a message out to your team, you must understand that they probably don't get it the same way that you said it. Like the words that you said is probably not how they took it.
Mm.
They heard what you said in a different way than the way you said it. So you have to like overly communicate, and then also, okay, read me back. What are we doing?
I got a super move.
Super move?
Yeah, super move.
Give me the super move on this.
Over here, Sam. Keep
Sam,
coming.
Marshall's over there.
Keep coming in.
There we go. Perfect.
Nice and close. Okay. Stop assigning people to do things via email.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
That's powerful.
Why is this why is this a passion point for you?
This is a passion point for exactly the reason that you just said.
Okay.
Is because people are interpreting it a different way than the way that you communicated it.
I feel like I need some gospel music because this is a passion point here, and I kind of wanted to have some gospel music, but I don't have the technology. Well, that's a lot of gospel music right there. There we go. Okay, so get into your point again.
Okay. Stop assigning people to do things purely through email. Assigning this person in this state to do this, assigning your coworker to do this, communicating strictly via email, and then you pass them in the halls and you're like, oh, hey, Jim. Hey, Sam. Hey, Dan. Hey, Cat. And just assigning people specifically the action items, okay? So with that being said, that doesn't mean don't send emails.
Okay.
You've got to communicate. You've got to follow up in person and use the emails as a paper trail.
Ooh.
That you have assigned it. So you got to do the wolf. You got to call. You got to text. You got to email all of your action items for that specific person. And that is how you manage.
And then do you keep a list of the things that you've assigned?
Oh, yeah. And
then what do you do with that list, Marshall?
When something needs to be done, it goes on the list. When something is completed, it comes off the list.
So how do you then, we're talking about clarifying communication and the big six of leadership excellence here. You gave them the woof.
Yep.
Call, text, email. Got them their action items. You put their action items on your list.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then you follow up. You follow up once they say they've completed it.
So it's not a, hey, Jim, I would like you to work on the Stedman account. It's, hey, Jim. The proper way is, hey, Jim, I would like you to email the Stedman account the contract that we put together, line item A.
By.
Line item B. Include the notes that we had from the meeting on 12/18, line item C. Include the new design that we put together, line item D. And this must all be done by Friday.
Hot sizzle.
And then what happens with your list? Because we're clarifying. We're making sure that you are understanding what we're saying too. Clarifying what happens on your list when you do this.
Well, then it goes on my list to follow up.
When do you follow up?
On that day.
On Friday.
On Friday.
So now on your to-do list, as something that you now have to do, is to follow up with Jim on Friday.
That's right.
To make sure that he followed up. He actually did the things that you talked about doing.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. And now you've clarified communications, and now you are one of the big six of leadership excellence right there.
Yeah. You're 1 for 6.
That was hot sizzle.
Hot sizzle.
That
16% of the way there.
I don't know that you can say that was hot sizzle and make it grammatically correct, but that was hot sizzle.
You're saying it wrong.
Okay. Well, let's go streaking. Let's go streaking to number 3 here. Number 3. That was number 2. Number 3, we're going to clarify KPIs, key performance indicators. Marshall, hit me with that Gino Wickman hot sizzle.
Gino Wickman.
Yep.
What gets measured? What gets measured gets done.
What gets measured?
So Gino Wickman, best-selling author of the book called Traction.
Yep.
Management coach. Okay. Responsible for the EOS, the Entrepreneur Operating System Management System.
Bam.
Okay. He says, what gets measured gets done.
And why does this matter for KPIs?
So if you're not tracking, then how do you know whether or not something's been completed or not? Okay, if you played a basketball game and nobody kept score, how would you know which team won?
It would be difficult.
It'd be whatever fans cheered the most.
And I wouldn't be interested in playing.
Yeah, I would hate basketball.
Like, why are we doing this?
Why? I get no enjoyment out of this.
Okay, so key performance indicators. basically the most important parts of your job, key performance indicators being measurable, right? I made X amount of calls. I made X amount of sales. My closing percentage was X. Key performance indicators, and because of the things that you can measure. So you have to clarify with your team members, these are the key things that you are responsible for doing. These are the key things that matter for your role. My role is customer service. Okay. Well, then your key performance indicator is on the surveys that we get in. You must have a 95% approval rating or whatever. I'm in sales. Well, your key performance indicator is you got to make 80 calls today. You got to do 4 appointments, and you got to close 1 sale. Key performance indicators. Gina Wickman. Because what gets measured is actually what gets done.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to try your hardest. We'll talk about it later maybe.
I'll pay you if I feel like it.
We'll play basketball. No one's keeping score. Everyone's going to leave happy.
I never leave happy.
Regardless. Okay, that was number 3. Clarifying KPIs. Clarifying candor is a must. Number 4, candor is a must. This is where things can get offensive. Hopefully you've already clarified your expectations. Hopefully you've already clarified your communications, because that's what's going to give you a chance to like be on the same playing field, like level, like we understand each other. You got to do those first 3 things, right? You've clarified this is what you're responsible for doing, your KPIs. This is your big, like this is what you're going to be measured on. And now number 4, here comes the hammer of candor. I've never said that phrase before.
It kind of feels good about it.
Kind of feel good about that.
The candor hammer.
The candor hammer?
The hammer of candor?
The hammer of candor sounds...
The hammer of candor.
The hammer of candor. Give me the Jack Welch quote here. Give me the Jack Welch quote.
Jack Welch. So Jack Welch, he is the former CEO of General Electric. He grew the company by 4,000%. And he says this: you reinforce the behaviors that you reward. If you reward candor, you will get it.
You reinforce the behaviors that you reward. So whatever you reward, people are going to be like, I should do that more often. That seems like a good move. Gave me a little pat on the back, gave me a little bonus, gave me a little time off, gave me a little Subway coupon, whatever. Okay, so if you reward candor, you'll get it. Now, what's the sticky part about candor? What is the... Okay, because if you're not good at candor...
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that aren't.
I would say most people aren't.
Yeah.
If you're not good at candor, it can make things messy pretty quickly, A.
Yeah.
And B, if you're in a leadership position and all of a sudden you have other people being having candor towards you, especially if they're not very good at it, if you are not like in control of your own emotions and emotionally intelligent, it can get you riled up too. And now all of a sudden, like everybody's fighting each other.
And what I would say, I think what you said is very important. If you're not in control of your own emotions,
Yeah.
because what candor is, in my opinion, is void of emotion.
That's right.
And so it's basically addressing the problem, okay? And so if somebody else is addressing the problem with you, or you're addressing the problem with somebody else, okay, and there's emotion attached to it,
Yeah.
then it's not candor anymore. It's something that you don't want any part of.
Give me an example of some positive candor. Doesn't have to be positive necessarily, but give me an example of a good use of candor.
Constructive candor.
Sure.
Constructive candor would be, you know what, Bill? I think you're doing excellent work up here in the office, but you smell, and I feel like you're walking around. Maybe nobody's told you, but I care enough about you that I'm going to tell you. Keep up the good work, but please take a shower.
That's some candor.
That's candor.
That's an uncomfortable candor.
Uncomfortable candor.
But it's sort of like if you're the smelly guy
Yeah.
and nobody tells you, then you're always the smelly guy.
Right.
But if you're the smelly guy and you have that couple minutes of weirdness where you're like, he just told me I'm the smelly guy,
Yeah.
but now I know I can fix it,
Yeah.
I probably feel better about myself.
You have to understand that it's out of love.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not out of love, but it's
It's out of not wanting to be around the smelly guy.
yeah.
Give me an example of some bad candor. Give me an example of some emotional candor. Like, oh, okay, we're going to be candid now, huh? Well, you said you want candor. Give me an example of that.
I think, all right, Bill, I want you to know that I can see that you tried really hard, but your graphic design is pretty terrible, and I think it's because your girlfriend broke up with you just recently.
I mean, it's
probably crossing the line.
That's probably crossing the line. Or maybe
On the other side.
on the other side, maybe it's hey, Bill, your graphic design sucks. You suck. I kind of hate you. Everything that you do is pretty terrible, really. I mean, really, like, this is bad. Like, this is terrible, and I kind of hate you for it. Because there's a whole lot of emotion wrapped up in that. Now, it might be really bad.
Might be true.
But that's probably a bad way to have candor in the office.
To start that conversation.
But, I mean, that's kind of how Steve Jobs did it. That's how Steve Jobs... So if you're the Steve Jobs type, that's exactly what you say. But if you're not the Steve Jobs type, like the majority of humans,
yeah,
that would be a bad way to go about candor. But candor it's a must.
Yeah.
Because we have to have honest conversations so we can keep moving forward. I can't just, like, be your buddy and be like, hey, Bill, good try on the graphic design, man, yeah. And then to everybody else be like, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. We can't use that. But we're going to still keep Bill employed here and make him feel good. Can't do that. Because then Bill loses, and then the company loses, and then everybody's just, like, wasting time trying to, like, be fake nice. That can't happen. Okay, that was number 4 of the Big Six. Big Six, that was number 4. Number 5, clarify that execution is a must. Marshall. Execution. Hit me with the quote here. Hit me with the quote from number 5 from Mr. Henry Ford.
Okay. So quote from Henry Ford. Okay. Also responsible for the Ford Model T.
Maybe you have heard of the Ford Motor Company.
He says you can't build a reputation on what you're going to do.
Well, you see, I meant to get around to it. I got real busy. Got some late emails, and then my daughter, she was sick at school, so I just didn't get it done.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll get that done soon.
Oh yeah, totally. Working hard on it. I'll get back to you.
Sure. I'm planning on doing that soon.
Yep. Got that on the old to-do list. It's on the list.
Yeah, I should be getting around to that soon.
Okay, why are these all examples that came off the top of our head?
Because you can't continuously do that. At some point, you actually have to do it. Like you can't just keep saying that.
So we've talked a lot about communication, about expectations. How do you clarify execution being a must? Like, how do you clarify, like, this is the target and this is the target that must be hit? Like, what are the steps involved here? Because we kind of hit on some other parts here, but give me an example of how you would clarify, like, this is how we're going to execute. Go.
I would just say you got to. It starts with the number 2, clarify communications. You got to dictate, how you're communicating it and connect. Make sure that you guys are on the same wavelength.
Yep.
That's the first thing.
Yep.
Then the second thing is you just got to set a deadline and have it done by the deadline. Okay? So you look at the busiest people in any office across the country, and I assure you the next time the next project or the next opportunity comes up, it's going to go to not the least busy person. It's going to go to the busiest person.
Why is that? Why does the busy person keep getting more work?
Because they're the only ones that get things done. Yeah.
So specifically, if we're clarifying execution, it's like we talked about earlier, clarifying the communication. We're saying it's this project with these things involved and it's due on this date and must be done by this time.
Right.
It must be done by this time. It's not a work on that video. It's the video must be done Friday. I'm using the Force. I'm not good at. I've seen only a few of the Star Wars. The video must be done by Friday.
Okay.
Is that how that works?
No.
Okay. Well. Okay. I'll research that and do better next time. So execution is a must, and that's part of the communication process. Number 6, we're moving on to the last one here. Number 6, we're clarifying that energy is a must. Now, why is this part of the Big 6, Marshall? Why is it not the Big 5? We're talking about leadership excellence here. Why is it not 5? Shouldn't it have stopped at 5? Why is energy a must?
Because energy is contagious. And so Jack Welch, he's famous for having his 4 E's. And his 4 E's are energy, energize, edge, and execute. Okay?
So wait, of Jack Welch's 4 big management things of how he scores people, 2 of them have to do with energy?
2.
And clarify those 2 for me.
Energy is first and foremost the energy that you bring to a specific task or within the office, the energy that you bring.
That I personally bring.
I'm bringing it.
And then what is energize?
Energize is the energy that you bring out in others, the contagious momentum that you build in others.
And so when Jack Welch, CEO of GE, grew GE by 4,000% during his reign, maybe you've heard of him, kind of a big deal. Oh, it's got his book right here. Jack Welch winning. Bam. There it is. When he was looking to promote people, or he was looking for people to be like, this is one of my leaders, he would grade them on 4 things that Marshall just mentioned. And 2 of them had to do with energy. So apparently this matters.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Jack Welch quote here, Marshall.
Okay, Jack Welch. He says, big business can do more to support smaller enterprises in their supply and world will belong to passionate, driven leaders, people who not only have enormous amounts of energy, but who can energize those whom they lead.
So the show notes didn't give you a very good chance to read that very well.
I feel like Anchorman.
You're just you're set up.
Just reading off the show notes.
He's saying big businesses can do more to support smaller enterprises in their supply, and their world will begin to belong to passionate and driven leaders. So people who not only have enormous amounts of energy, but who can also energize those they lead. So they're saying that like the people that are bringing that energy and can energize the people around them, those are the ones that are going to support big businesses with these smaller enterprises. Give me your take on that, Marshall.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's part of being a leader is you got to be able to energize and motivate and lead and manage others.
Why does that matter, Marshall?
It matters because otherwise you will be self-employed for the rest of eternity, or you will never move up in an organization because you have no ability to manage others.
If we were to say, we're just going to work off of the assumption that if you employ people, the majority of them are like normal humans. Normal humans, if they are not motivated by outside sources, how often are they motivated? Why does it take till every New Year's resolution for someone to put together their 2-week plan for getting in shape?
Because there's some kind of like trigger or some kind of like because they don't have the ability to hold themselves accountable.
And then why 2 weeks later? Why do all the gyms just hit skyrocket numbers in January, and then in February there's like nobody at the gym, but people are still paying?
Because diligence is hard.
Ow. Marshall.
Ow.
So diligence is hard.
Yeah.
And if you are in a job just because you need a job, which makes sense.
Jobby job.
You probably need a jobby job. And you are not passionate about it.
Yeah.
Which is the majority of humans.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make you weird. It makes you a human. You probably do not care to try to like give it all your emotional energy, your focus. Like if there's no path for you, if you don't see like I can use this to get to here, or I can make this much money if I do better, or if you don't see that for yourself, or if you don't care, then you probably are not going to bring a lot of energy. Which means, as a leader, you have to be the one that's like continually giving those New Year's resolutions, like triggering that in your people that, hey, it's New Year's resolution time. We got a month to get in shape. Have you seen this at all, Marshall? Have you? I mean, we live in kind of a weird environment in that the people that are here are very energetic, and we kind of like sift people out that aren't energetic.
Yeah.
But have you seen this before where you've had to be the one that said, okay, roll up the sleeves, we got to get everybody's mojo going. Let's do this.
You got to do it every day.
Every day?
Every day.
That seems like unnatural. That seems like,
but necessary.
but that seems like something I'd have to like consciously do. Like I don't consciously bring like
You
energy
either
to a
have
group.
to do it yourself or hire somebody that will.
So you're saying it's a must?
It's a must.
You're saying it's part of the big 6 of leadership excellence?
It's number 6 is clarify energy is a must.
Well,
It's a must.
I'd say we did that.
It's a must.
Must, not a musk.
No, it's a must.
Not a musk.
With a T.
Is that like the smell?
No. It's a must.
Oh, must. Like it has to happen.
You're saying it weird.
You're saying it weird. Okay. To clarify, because we did a lot of clarification, we're going to go over the summary real quick here. Talk about the big 6 of leadership excellence. Number 1, and then we're going to get into the daily wins. Number 1, clarify expectations. Bam. Number 2, clarify communications. 3, clarify your key performance indicators. 4, clarify that candor is a must. 5, clarify that execution is a must. 6, clarify that energy is a must. If you can do all these 6 things, you are going to be already, even if you don't like know what you're doing yet, but you can do these 6 things, you're going to be in the top 5% of leaders. I mean, like, even if you're figuring it out on the job. So this is Aliza, leadership role. She's got a new team. She's probably doing things that she's never done before. She's going to have to figure it out as she goes. But if she can do these 6 things, she's already going to be one of the best leaders that these people have ever seen. Pretty cool. All right, that was the big 6 of leadership excellence. Let's get into the daily wins here, Marshall. I need some mojo.
Okay.
I need some mojo here. You're just bringing it hot with the mojo today.
I'm coming in hot today.
Okay. Daily wins of the week. Daily wins of the week. We, in passing, saw some motor trucks. We saw some motor trucks, some big motor vehicles on the television. It was on for a few seconds, and we were like, I don't understand this sport.
Oh, the monster trucks?
The monster trucks.
The
I was
monster
saying motor trucks.
I was like, what?
The
When
motor.
did we
When
see
I was
motor trucks?
when I was saying motor trucks, I was like, I don't even know what that is. Monster trucks. We saw monster trucks on TV in passing, and we both made the comment that said, I don't understand how this works. These trucks are just driving around on hills. And
Well, no, I
they're
didn't
getting style
understand-
points.
I didn't understand the scoring. I'm like, who goes to these monster truck rallies for the scoring?
Well, and the guy got style points. He got like someone gave him a 2. He got a 5 over here and a 4. And to us, it just looked like he just kept running over the same hill and just. Okay, so we don't get monster trucks. If you get that, you're probably smarter than us. We don't get it. So I'm gonna need you to announce the daily wins of the week like you are the monster truck guy.
The monster truck guy?
Yeah, the guy that talks about the monster truck rally coming on Friday at the convention center.
I don't know how they do that.
Yes, you
Is
do.
it coming?
If it is, we need to go because
Is
we
this
don't
a
understand
plug?
how the scores work.
Okay. How does he sound? What kind of guy is this?
Come on. You know the monster truck guy.
Oh, I know him. I am very familiar with
Very
him.
familiar with him. Give me the daily wins of the week like you are the monster truck guy.
How do you do this? We got some Let It Whip going on here too.
Yeah. Wow.
And ladies and gentlemen, bringing to you this Friday night the Monster Truck Rally and your Daily Hustle Daily Wins of the Week.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Sounds like a lot like Johnny Cash and Theodore Roosevelt. But
I think you should have said that. I think you said Friday, monster truck rally. I think that's part of it too.
oh my God!
But you did good.
I'm getting worse.
You did good. Okay, go ahead and hit me with the daily wins of the week here, buddy.
Okay, the Daily Wins of the Week. Oh, we got Sprick Realty.
Sprick Realty.
Okay, Sprig Realty, Real Talk. We got. Can I mention these people? Can I mention them by name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got Tim Sprick bragging on his wife Danielle Sprick. So this is the hot sauce right here. You got Tim Sprick bragging on Danielle Sprick.
Ready for it.
Okay, so they said we started Sprick Realty just over a year ago.
Just about 365 days ago.
Yep. Which means 2016 is our first full calendar year.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers are in for the year, and I couldn't be more proud. Okay, can I read all this?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. They did over 23 million in sales for the year.
Wait, hang on. This is their first year?
This was their first year.
And they did what?
They did over $23 million in sales. Awesome job all of the agents have done. Many were new in 2016 and were just beginning to hit their stride. 2017 is going to be awesome. Congrats, Danielle Sickler, Sprick, and all of the Sprick agents.
So Sprick Realty, one of the clients here at Thrive 15, in their first full calendar year of business, had over 23 million in sales.
Yeah.
Kind of a big freaking deal.
It can be done, ladies and gentlemen.
How do you always get to this part of the show and then start coughing and like wheezing and stuff? Like,
I've done with my Dayquil dose. I need more Dayquil.
Okay. So as far as what we do here, if you don't know what we do here, Sam, go ahead and show them. Go ahead and show them the thrivetimeshow.com/workshops. If you want your business to take a rocket boost of growth, go to thrivetimeshow.com/workshops. It's a 2-day, 16-hour business extravaganza that's going to be huge for your business. You're going to leave with so many action steps, you're not going to know what to do with yourself. Or go to thrive15.com, fill out a business evaluation, and you're going to get to that book right there, Thrive, the book Thrive, How to Take Control of Your Destiny and Move Beyond Surviving. And now, that's only an offer to the listeners and watchers of the Daily Hustle Show. So you got to tell them that you came from the Daily Hustle Show. They'll give you that book for free. Stuff's breaking in the background, so I guess that means that it's about time to go. But on one last sincere note, again, if you want your business to take a big boost, if you're looking in this new year and you're like, I'm ready to take off of this thing, sincerely reach out to us. Whether you have $5 or $5,000, we have programs that can help you, and we're excited to have your business grow. And we're super pumped for the Sprick Realty team, one of the clients, $23 million in sales in the first year.
I'm pumped.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, so that is it for the Daily Hustle today. That over there is Marshall Morris. Over here is Daniel McKenna. Send in your questions on Twitter and Instagram or on thrive15.com. We'll see you next time. Boom!